Hi guys, good morning. Um, I hope that you guys had a good weekend, and I wanted to come on and wish you guys a good week because I know it's Monday, so I already know how Mondays are, so I wanted to wish you guys a good week, and yeah, so I hope that you guys had a good weekend too, and staying positive pretty much. So yeah, I've been literally vibing out to be honest, and doing what I have to do for myself, so that's what I've been doing. If anybody's been wondering, just to take care of business and do what I have to do. So I just want to hop in really quick and say hi and talk to you guys. So yeah. um, so I was thinking like the other day over the weekend. We used to play this game. I don't know if you guys remember it, but when I was a child, me and my siblings and my cousins, we would play this game, and I believe it's called telephone. But pretty much like the main person would relay a message, and we would like whisper in each other's ear until it gets to the person that it's supposed to get to, and we'll see what the message was. Like she'll will like, let's say I was the last person, I would just tell everybody what I got. And majority of the time the message would be distorted or it would be different from the original message, so we'll just laugh. And I was thinking about that because it's really true. Like every time you get information from somebody, especially if it has to do with someone else, it could always be distorted or twisted, pretty much distorted. And so I think it's important whenever you do receive information, especially if it's important, to actually confirm it with the person of interest, or yeah, to confirm it with them, just so that way you can make sure you got the truth, because things could get distorted a lot, and you know, you could be misled by it as well. So it's good to confirm the information with the person, just to make sure that you got the right information, instead of believing everything that you hear and running with it. Like I literally, like, I'll get information, and it's not everybody will make things up, but like I know who does and who doesn't, it's, I know kind of who to listen to and not to listen to. But yeah, I always, when I get information, I don't really like take it to heart as immediately, I always think about the bigger picture, or um, I pretty much think about it. I don't just run with everything I hear and just believe everything, So I listen, but I still have my own discernment, pretty much. So um, I think it's important to do it like be that way, because you never know um, what you're being told or if it's true or not. And I've had my I had my dealings with that in the past, so I know better now. So I always, like, I don't really run with it or make judgments off of it. I'll listen to it, but I always have my own opinion. And if it's really serious, then I will go to the person and ask them myself, like, is this true? Like, I heard this, is this true? And that way I can get the correct information from them, from the actual source, And I used to do that, like, with my previous relationships too. Especially my most recent previous relationship. I every time I would hear anything, I would literally ask him, like, even if I know that he'd get upset, because he was the type where even if I asked him questions that was kind of uncomfortable, like, he'll get upset about it, because I don't know. So, but I didn't care. Like, that was just me. Like, if I heard something that made me feel uneasy, or anything regarding our relationship, I would confront him about it. And it wasn't like I would be yelling at him or anything. I would just ask him, like, okay, I heard this. Is this true? Or did you do this? Or did this happen? And regardless if he got mad or not, I still addressed the issues, so that way I wouldn't be walking around the house with an attitude and he'd be like, what's wrong with you? And then start more, it'll make it worse, So I would literally, every time I had an issue, I would talk about it, even if he didn't want to listen or talk to me about it, I would still put it out there so that way he knew what was up, you know. And I think it's good to be like that. Instead of going with everything that you hear, always address it to the actual source. And even if he didn't tell me like the truth or give me the information I was looking for, like if he was quiet about it or didn't really tell me anything, I was still able to confirm if the information that was given to me was true or not just by his actions. You know, if he didn't want to talk about it, it's kind of like, okay, why don't you want to talk about it, you know? But I would just kind of leave it alone. But I think it's always good to address. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it just literally cut out. But anyway, I always think it's good to address the situation, especially if it makes you feel uneasy or if it's important information that you need to have confirmed instead of running with anything, you know. And it made me think about that game because that's literally what happened in the game. Like, we'll get information and then like it'll all be different because the next person would explain it a different way or add more details, and it's like, that's not what I told you. So it's crazy. So I think it's important to do that, to be honest. So that you get the correct information instead of running with whatever you hear. So yeah. I also feel like it's also good to, like, whenever I also feel like and this is just my opinion, so everybody has their own opinion, so you know how that goes. But I also feel like whenever you want to know about someone, or yeah, if you want to know like how that person is or what type of person they are, you know, I think it's good to speak with that person yourself instead of going to their friends to get information about the person, because they may give you different information from like their point of view of the person instead of what they truly are, you know. Maybe they'll give you information, maybe they don't even really like the person, they'll give you some messed up information, or maybe they don't really know them that deeply to be able to even give you information about the person. So maybe they'll judge them from their outer versus their inner, and so they'll probably give you some shallow information about the person instead of how they truly are. So I think it's good, like, whenever you want to learn or get information about someone that you really don't know too much about, it's good to have like a one-on-one with that person, so that way you'll be able to get the information that you need regarding them yourself instead of going through third parties or maybe their friends or anybody else, because you never know how they view them, if they view them just by the outer or the inner, you know. And whenever you're able to speak with them one-on-one, you'll be able to see for yourself and make your own judgments about it. And because it could be like, you never know, a lot of people, they do judge people by their outer instead of the inner, so they can be like, oh, they don't have this and that, or they're this way, that way, or maybe they're not good enough for you, but then they miss the important aspects of them, you know. So it's good to actually have that conversation with the person that you need information about, and so that way it'll be easier, first of all, and you get the information that you need, and you'll be able to like debate with them or see how their true selves, their heart and everything, you know, if you're not shallow. If that's what you care about. A lot of people care about different things, so yeah, I think it's important to actually go to the actual main source with a lot of things, so that way you can get the absolute truth instead of a watered down version. Like, I used to love that song. Like, I love the album is by Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly. That's like one of my favorite albums, and like I know like every song on that album. Like, I feel like it's really epic to me. Like, I love that album, and it just reminds me like one of my favorite songs. Like, I love a lot of the songs on that album, but my my favorite song on that album is one of them, I guess, is it's How Much a Dollar Costs. And pretty much the guy was like judging this homeless guy. He's pretty much judging him. He kind of like didn't help him and just kind of like brushed him off, but he failed to realize like he's somebody totally different, you know, but he, just by his appearance, you know, he treated him a certain way, not knowing who he truly was. And I love that song because it happens a lot, you know, and because people judge people by their outer versus their inner, and they go by that, and a lot of times they miss important things about that person, or yeah, they miss a lot of important things that could be beneficial. And just because they're always looking for at the person by their outer versus their inner. And it just reminds me of that song because like everybody has layers to them, and you could literally judge somebody by their outer and not know who they truly are, and you just judge them not knowing that they could be something grand, you know. Like, I've seen it in a lot of relationships where people would leave their actual partner for someone else that was probably more flashier or prettier or more handsome, and they'll leave their actual partner for the other person because of it. Maybe they have more money or something, you know. And then a lot of times they regret it because maybe further down the line, that person's true colors will come out. Maybe they're conceited, or they don't really care too much about the other person, or they're always about being flashy and don't really have a heart, you know. And so a lot of times that person would regret it, but then it would be too late because they're already inside that situation, you know, and they regret it a lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times they do. And it's all because they judged a book by its cover, and they didn't really see the person for who they truly were until it was too late. So that's why I love that song, to be honest. I love that song. I love a lot of his songs on that album. It's really epic to me. Like, I love that album. But anyway, yeah, it's good to try not to judge people. Pretty much judge a book by its cover. Like, always try to get more information about them, you know, or actually see them for who they truly are, pretty much. So yeah, I don't know. But I hope that you guys have a good day though, and have a good week and stuff. I just wanted to come on and say hi to you guys and wish you guys the best, to be honest. So yeah. I'll be on later this week. I don't know when, but I'll be on, so you guys will be seeing me soon. So, but I love you guys, and I'll let you guys go so I can do my thing. You can do your thing. But I love you. Bye.